Hey guys, Bob here from Raw Strength and Muscle, and today I want to talk about a comment on one of my previous videos about the best way to build muscular size as opposed to the best way to build muscular strength, okay? And the comment was basically on my video about the 5x5 workout system, and I said that this is the best system for building size and strength, okay? And with the guy who commented, he says, okay, he agrees it's a really good way to get strong, but he's not sure if that's the best way to build muscular size, okay? And he does have a point, okay? And I disagree with the point, but I wanted to discuss what he's trying to say, what I'm trying to say, and, my basically approach to building size. And what basically he's talking about is there are two different ways to make a muscle grow bigger, okay? There's one way that's called myofibrillar hypertrophy being, the increase in size of muscles, okay? So myofibrillar hypertrophy means you lift heavy weights for just a few reps, for just a few sets, heavy compound exercises. You actually damage the muscles themselves, okay? And, like when your skin gets scraped and it comes back as a callus, basically those little micro tears come back stronger and bigger, okay? So that's why your muscles can handle more weight. That's why your muscles get larger, because you're literally breaking them down on like the microscopic level. They're growing back stronger on the microscopic level. And when you continue this process for long enough, they're gonna be considerably larger and considerably stronger. The other way that you do this is through what's called sarcoplasmic hypertrophy, okay? And fluid called sarcoplasm is pumped into your muscles, okay? So if you ever hear a bodybuilder saying, I need to get a pump, I'm losing my pump, I just got to get a pump before I take this photo, or I get a pump before I go out on the beach or something like that. What they basically want to do is just do a lot of repetitions with light weight, no weight possibly, okay? Lots of sets, short rest in between sets. And what you do is you pump your muscles full of this liquid, this fluid called sarcoplasm, and they look a lot bigger. Now, pumping your muscles up with light weights, very short rest in between sets, very long sets, lots of repetitions, lots of sets, lots of everything except for weight, okay? By doing that, you will over time get stronger. But it is an extremely inefficient way. It's like a 10th ranked, side effect of sarcoplasmic hypertrophy is that your muscles will get a little bit stronger. But aside from that, though, that is a really terrible way to make them strong. However, you get almost immediate effects in terms of the size of your muscles, and that's literally, like I said, if somebody does a photo shoot, if somebody does a bodybuilding competition, if somebody does a movie scene, where they're playing a Marvel superhero, they'll pump their muscles up, pump their muscles up, pump their muscles up, just a lot of sets, get the blood in, get the blood in, get the blood in, and you look considerably larger than you did before, like 5 minutes ago. So don't tell me you gained like 10 pounds of muscle in 5 minutes. All you did is pump a lot of fluid and your muscles look puffy, and you got to take the picture real quick. We got to do the scene real quick, because then your muscles are going to go ahead and you're going to lose your pump, okay? On the other hand, with myofibrillar hypertrophy, you get strong fast, okay? You also get bigger, but you get bigger at a slower rate, okay? Now, let me go ahead and explain to you my reason for saying that myofibrillar hypertrophy, doing heavy sets with heavy weight, with lots of rest in between sets, is better than pumping your muscles up. And I'm going to tell you a story from a guy called John Grimek, or Grimek. I don't know. I'm pronouncing his name wrong, I know. And it's embarrassing because he's one of like the old masters, the old pioneers of like the physical culture movement, the original bodybuilding, movement, where guys had to actually lift weights and be strong as well as being good bodybuilders. They didn't just look pretty, they actually had to lift weights. So he was strong and big and in shape, great body for like the 40s, the 50s, when he was like in his prime. And he talked about when he first started lifting weights, he was going to a YMCA. And what he said was there were two guys that had like a friendly kind of an argument, okay? One of them was like a gymnast, a body weight kind of guy, and the other one was a weightlifter, okay? And the weightlifter was bigger than the gymnast. And, the gymnast was like, oh, I could go ahead and get as big as you in just a couple months. So he's like, no, you can't. So they went ahead and had this conversation. And what they did was they had a bet. 8 weeks from now, they're going to measure their arms again. Okay, and they're going to see who has made the greater increase in muscular size, okay, over the next 8 weeks. And, John Grimek's like really curious. He was sitting there with his popcorn watching these guys train. The weightlifter's lifting his heavy weights. And, the gymnast is doing he'll do chin-ups and then wide chin-ups, and then he'll do overhand and then medium grip and then narrow grip. And then he'll cross his hands over. He'll do partial reps. He'll do full reps. He's just pumping blood, sarcoplasm fluid into his muscles, pumping. And over those 8 weeks, the gymnast who did pump sets basically put 2 inches on his arms, okay? He went from 15 and a quarter to 17 and a quarter inch arms in 8 weeks. The bodybuilder put on 1/2 of an inch in 8 weeks, okay? So the gymnast clearly destroyed the bodybuilder, clearly won the bet, right? He was a traveling kind of a salesman or businessman, so he had to leave for 10 days, okay? And this is the 30s maybe, because Grimek was big in the 40s and 50s, so this may have been in the 30s. You don't have gyms anywhere, much less hotel gyms and stuff the way we do these days. So if he goes on the road for 10 days, it means he doesn't work out at all for 10 days. And when he came back, he had lost almost all of the size that he had built up by doing pump sets all the time. Going to the gym a lot, just lifting body weight, not a whole lot of weight, and just doing more and more sets and pumping. He got big fast, but he also deflated fast. The bodybuilder apparently also was sick, in bed kind of sick for 3 days, didn't work out for another week. So he also had give or take 10 days where he didn't train, and he lost a little bit of size, and it came right back when he started training again. So the bottom line here is John Grimek. And I'm going to have a link to the article below because I actually found it. You need to go ahead and click on the link below, and I'll go ahead and, you could read the article yourself. But John Grimek says a bunch of things. First of all, dirty bulking, stupid. You don't want to gain 25 pounds, 23 of them being fat, 2 of them being muscle. That's stupid. He says, gaining weight quickly like that is unhealthy because your internal organs, your heart, your lungs and stuff aren't prepared for the extra weight. Okay, so it makes more sense to gain weight slowly. But he says, he just doesn't want to gain weight quickly, get big muscles pumped up real quickly and then just go ahead and take a break and they just disappear all of a sudden. So what I'm basically trying to say is you will get the strongest by doing myofibrillar hypertrophy, okay? Short amounts of repetitions, very few sets, very heavy weight, very long break in between, okay? Lifting the heaviest weight possible. You will get the strongest the fastest, number 1. Number 2 is it's going to be slower for you to build up size doing this, but the size you build is going to be more permanent, okay? You're not just pumping your muscles up, looking good right now, and tomorrow you look like shit again. You are literally reconstructing your body. You're literally damaging your muscle fibers, and they are on a microscopic level growing back bigger. So although it's a slower way to build muscle, you also lose your muscle slower, okay? So if you're like me, you want to get strong, not just look strong. I look pretty strong. I'm a muscular guy. People look at me and be like, hey, he's pretty strong. And then when they see me lift, they're like, holy fuck, I had no idea you were that strong. Because I'm as strong as I look, I am even stronger in reality than I actually look, okay? So number 1, if you're interested in performance and strength over size and appearance, you need to work on your myofibrillar hypertrophy, okay? Number 1. And number 2 is, like I said, it's yes, I am getting bigger, slower, okay? But all the size that I build is just pure permanent size, okay? And all the size that I build is also, like I said, just as slow as it takes for me to build up. It takes just as long for me to lose it. So if I go on vacation for a week, and this is my idea of a deload week, okay, I might do some body weight workouts or whatever, but basically if I take vacation for 5-10 days, all right, fine, I'm not gonna do stuff for 5-10 days, and I'll come back to the gym stronger than I was when I left, okay, because I'm literally reconstructing my body here. I'm literally creating bigger muscles, not just pumping them up so they look bigger. So, like I said, it's just 2 different ways to look at it. If you're a bodybuilder, yeah, you go right ahead and you do pump sets. If you want to be a physique athlete, something like that, go right ahead and do pump sets. That's fine. But like I said, I'm not a bodybuilder. I don't train bodybuilders. I've never trained a bodybuilder. If you're into bodybuilding, you're probably on the wrong channel. But if you just want to be stronger than you look, and if you want to look big and muscular, okay, definitely you need to check out the 5x5 system. You definitely need to check out myofibrillar as opposed to sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. Anyway, if you're interested in exactly the differences between sarcoplasmic and myofibrillar hypertrophy, if you're interested in the 5x5 system, 20 rep squat system, getting strong on body weight calisthenics, adding weights to your calisthenics, and just basically building a completely different body over the next 12 months, you definitely need to check out the Raw Strength and Muscle Brotherhood. It's got my weighted calisthenics routine. It's got my Earn Your Weights system, which is how you actually build up to doing body weight calisthenics. So you could do weighted calisthenics, and it's got the low carb cutting and bulking nutrition program. So you know how to eat to build muscle, you know how to eat to maintain, you know how to eat to burn fat. And you also got a community where you can ask me questions anytime you get stuck. You can ask me to critique your form on workouts, etc. You can brag when you have a new personal record, or you can brag when you lost another inch around your waist. And there are going to be weekly Zoom calls where you can actually ask me a question on the Zoom call and I can give you an answer live. Anyway, RSAM Brotherhood, check it out. Links down below. Check out that article by Grimek. And aside from that, I appreciate you guys watching. I'll see you in the next video.